So windy this week.
We are live. It is 3:08 Central Standard Time in the United States, 9:08 GMT in the UK. This is the Nomad Tech Project with Sam and Joe.
Hey.
Coming to you live this 21st day of December, 2025. How the hell are you, folks? Welcome. If you're watching the stream, you have nothing else better to do with your time, man. This is like an hour and a half. You're going to have to watch this silliness. You can watch it later, right? It will go to YouTube. It will be posted. And then we actually have the audio part of the show. You will download that and you will listen to it later and share it with your friends. So it's a couple of days before Christmas here in the United States and in the UK. In St. Louis, it's actually quite a balmy 45. And I checked the weather forecast for Christmas Day. So the record temperature in St. Louis for Christmas Day is the high is 71. It was set back in 1898 or 1890, like late 1890s. It's the forecast is 74. So in Celsius, I don't know. I have to figure that out. So here we are. I didn't prepare this. Celsius to Fahrenheit. Let's say, okay, here we go. Fahrenheit. Let's do.
We don't prepare anything.
That's 23 degrees Celsius, folks. It's going to be 23 degrees Celsius on Christmas Day here in the U.S., or at least in St. Louis.
Pretty warm.
That kind of sucks. So it's either White Christmas, either it's a bunch of Peruvian marching powder or a bunch of powdered sugar. So there's going to be no snow or even cold weather here in St. Louis on Christmas Day. It's going to be kind of unseasonably warm. Like I said, I think in 2019 it got up to like 70-ish. So yeah. And Jimmy's on the chat, and so is Nick. So yeah, Jimmy, I am H2 on it today. You'll be happy to know that I'm actually not drinking.
No, it's not vodka. It's H2O.
No, this is definitely water. It's not vodka. Dude, if this was straight vodka in a bottle, this is going to be an interesting show at the end of the show.
Yeah, it would be indeed.
So Joe is working on some YouTube videos. He's been creating content. That's on the Joe's YouTube channel. So it's Screen On Time YT. You should check that out. We will see how it goes as far as he's got stuff coming up.
Hit 500 subs today.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, congratulations, 500. Woo-hoo. So it's 498 more than I have on my actual personal channel. I think I have 11. I don't know why. I have like my own personal, how I log into YouTube, and there's like 11 subs. I don't know why anybody subbed to me.
Probably I'm one of them, probably.
But you might be, and I think it might be a couple other people. Like, I don't know why, because nobody. I'm not ever going to create content on that channel. That is a berserk. So anyway, let's get into some chit chat. So a couple other people have got the Samsung trifold, it's actually a bifold. Really?
Yeah.
It folds.
Yeah, I don't like the trifold name. Yeah.
It folds twice. It's the Z Fold 7, and it should be the Samsung Z bifold. They're calling it the trifold because I guess there's 3 panels. It should be a tri-panel. It's really not a tri-fold, but I guess it doesn't really matter what you call it. I've seen a couple of videos. I know Marquez did one. There was another person that did it. I had a notification for Haley's World. I think she's got one.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. I like her.
Yeah, she's pretty good. So they're checking it out. Marquez seems to be pretty favorable because of the aspect ratio will be better than a straight square Fold 7.
That's what my commentary has been about it so far.
Yeah.
But Samsung forgot to send it to us.
They didn't send it to me. And that's okay. And they didn't send it to Joe. Actually, he reviews phones. I do not. So
I wouldn't even say I do that.
Them not saying to me makes a lot more sense. Them saying to Joe makes a little less sense. Anyway, so that's where we are. We have to watch other people's videos. I don't know, man. Yeah. I'm kind of mixed on it. So I do like the fact that you get more of a wider tablet, like a wider form factor helps with that. Definitely. But it looks. I know he says it's not, but it looks a little bulky. And I just don't know if I need that for the price they're going to come in at, because I'm assuming it's going to be probably close to $3,000.
Yeah, this is the thing. Yeah. I mean, you're going to have to really want a phone and a tablet. It is a different proposition to the normal Fold, isn't it? Very different.
Yeah.
Because,
well, like I said,
You can't have like the Huawei one. You can have 3 different aspect ratios. You can have the phone, the normal fold aspect ratio, and then the tablet.
Right. You're either here or you're all the way out on the Samsung.
Yeah, Transformers.
And I guess if you're gonna get a trifold, would you really use the only one fold, or would you would go all? I think I can't imagine if I had that device, I would not deploy either this way, right, phone-ish, or go all the way to three panels. Like I can't imagine I would go, yeah, I bought this extra panel, but I'm not going to use it, so I'm just going to go ahead and just unfold it once. And the other thing too is I just do not like the Huawei design for the panels facing the outside.
Yeah, I don't like that
either. I do not understand why that is a thing. Maybe people in China don't scratch their screens as much, or maybe it's just aesthetics more than functionality and keeping it protected from damage. But I just don't like that as a general rule. I know Samsung's done that before with their other foldables that folds outside, so the inner, I guess the screen you're looking at is exposed.
Yeah. What does that say about Huawei's confidence, though, on durability? They must be pretty confident.
I don't know if it's a durability thing, or maybe it's a cultural thing, or just maybe they're just like, well,
they're both, yeah. But I mean, they must be confident enough to do it, like to.
Sure, but I guess my question is, if you buy a Huawei device inside of China, like if you go to a store, you buy it from Huawei directly, what kind of do they have a really good customer service program? It's like, well, okay, so it scratches up and it gets all nicked up or cracked or whatever. If they have a pretty good way to like repair the phone or replace the phone, and you don't have to pay a bunch of money, maybe it's a thing, and maybe they're okay with the fact that, yeah, it probably would be more protected if it folds in on itself as opposed to outward on itself, but because the design is way more aesthetically pleasing, I guess is the way you can describe it. Maybe that's maybe for people in China, maybe who are buying this phone in country, maybe they're willing to accept that risk. Well, I don't know. I think it's scary. I mean, honestly, but if you had a Duo, like if I do back in the day, you could, put this in your pocket in this posture where both screens are. Yeah, and a lot of people I know were like, I just usually, instead of like having it like this, and then you take it in your pocket and you have to do all this crap. If you take it out and it's already open, I mean, yeah, it's exposed, but if you don't have to go through the whole, you can kind of, it's already there. So if you want to quickly just kind of look at something, I don't know. I never used my Duo that way. I always kept it this way.
The option though, haven't you?
Well, you had the option. So I just don't know. So maybe there's a different reason why it's done like that, because that wasn't the first phone that folds out where the screens are outside, but every other foldable, Oppo and OnePlus and the Pixel and Samsung, and even technically the Duo, the screen folds in, so the screens on the visible screen that you're using is protected on in a clamp. I don't know.
Going back to your question though, like about would I use that like that? I don't think I will, because when I look at my use cases, I use the inner screen on the bus, right? It's not too big, the fold, but it's big enough to have a little bit more canvas. Whereas that tablet would be a bit weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and he said like he is a seafold, he hardly opens it up. I would say I'd probably, out of every time I pull it on my pocket, I would say out of 10 pocket pulls, I'm probably 3 or 4 where I go here.
Yeah, that's decent amount.
Yeah,
I'd say.
And it actually came in pretty handy last night. So we went out to a little restaurant in town. They have like, none of these places have like menus anymore. It's like scan the QR code. And so anyways, I scanned the QR code and I have my phone open. So I'm like looking at it, and the guy even walked up. I guess a waiter shows up, which is interesting because if I'm ordering from a QR code, I don't know why we need a waiter. I could just have them bring the food, but whatever. So he came over. He said, "Hey, just want to check on you, make sure everything is okay. If you could use the QR code in the menu and the ordering and all that stuff." I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And I had it open. I was actually looking at the menu and it's kind of scrolling through it. And he's like, "Oh," he goes, "That's kind of an interesting phone." Like I did, and what's funny is in normal circumstances, I would have told the guy, yeah, it's a Z Fold. You probably heard about it. There's a flip and a fold. Like, I was just like, yeah, man, it's pretty slick. You should probably get one. And that's all I said to the guy. And he kind of just ignored it and kind of went on with his life. Like, normally I would have, yeah.
Inception.
Yeah. So how you get, is that where your main SIM is in? Is that still in that phone or?
No, it's in a phone I can't talk about yet.
So it's what is it, tomorrow afternoon or
So
tomorrow morning?
I can give my first impressions at 8 a.m. tomorrow UK
Yeah.
time.
So Joe is going to be. Are you off tomorrow? Are you working tomorrow?
No, I'm working, so I won't be getting it done for 8 a.m. That's for
Right.
sure.
So well, here's the thing. If you didn't get and here's the thing. If that phone, when that phone comes off embargo, whatever phone that is, it's going to come off our embargo because at 8:01, all the notifications are going to come through, and you're already going to. If you can't get out within the first hour or two, you're already behind the 8 ball.
Yeah. So, yeah. Although I'm less behind than what I would have been previously.
Right. Because before you would have done it, like it would have been a while. So
when it launches next year.
Right. Are you going to be able to? Are you going to try to do something in the afternoon or the evening of that same day, or you already the content ready to go, or do you need to still work on the content?
I got to work on the content still. Even I filmed some stuff I'm not that happy with before we started this, which is why I was late. Might try and do a little bit after, maybe. I'm only going to do a short though because I can only talk about my first impressions, battery capacity, the chipset, and the camera specs. I can't really talk about too much more than that yet. But to be honest, it's only next year that it comes out, and then I can then launch, my full review. So I'm only going to do a short for now. So I don't need to.
So even though the embargo releases tomorrow, it's a reduced amount of information about the phone. It's not a full review.
Yeah, it's not a full review yet. It's just first impressions, and
okay.
I mean, it's still I want to get something out there, because they've given me this device to use, and actually they've asking for it back already, which is annoying because the next embargo drops in the new year when it comes out, and I want it to film more for that. But I'm guessing they're assuming I was organized and already done my filming, but I haven't.
Well, I guess it's when they send those phones out, I guess they're going off of what they understand to be the regular tech community who makes. I guess you're right. They might assume that you already had the filming ready to go. You've already kind of kicked the tires on the entire phone, and you're like, okay, so are they? I guess my question is because you get phones sent to you from manufacturers and they have returns and timelines for those. Like, what's the penalty? I guess the penalty is if you don't return it, they won't ever work with you again. I guess that's it.
But I guess that's the main thing. Yeah, I mean, so when I had the Nothing phone, that was a community review, and I asked for an extension because I wasn't ready because I'm not organized that well. I mean, I've got a full-time job. I've got a 5-year-old. Or soon to be 6. I do 2 podcasts, which I'm really committed to. This being one of them, and and I've got a life as well, so it's hard to get the content in as well. So I asked for an extension, and they were absolutely fine about it. No issue. So that was cool.
Now, did they ask you why you need an extension? Is hey, I need
No, I put that in my message. It was very casual. This was on Slack. I've not used Slack for a long time, but they use Slack to communicate, which is quite good actually. But yeah, they were fine about it. They said, yeah, you can have 3 to 4 more days. So I took 5 or 6.
Right.
But partly because DHL was a nightmare picking it up. I booked it between 12:15 to 6 at my workplace. The guy comes at 10. I'm not there yet. The phone's not there. So I get there. I'm into an hour into my shift, and my colleagues say, "Oh yeah," because I said, "Oh, just to let you know, I've got a phone out back. Someone's going to come and collect it later from DHL." Oh, someone's already been. So I rung customer service. They said, "Oh yeah, we'll rebook it for you for today still. Sorry about that." No one comes. It comes to 6 o'clock. My store closes. I cash up and I go home. I'm on the phone to customer service again. I'm like, no one came. DHL, man. I know it's a tough time of year. It's Christmas and all that, but yeah, the drivers are knob.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that kind of sucks. I have no idea what's going on with that. But anyway, it's like I just don't understand. Like, not every creator is, some of these creators, like, who get these phones, or like at this point they've kind of transitioned to where they're not really working a full-time job. They're like, this kind of becomes, and again, that's everybody else's kind of like idea. Like, where is it that like you feel that your channel is kind of like, like Shane. I know Shane Craig has kind of had that. Like, I followed him, and like at one point he just started out. He was kind of like still working a job. At least I think so. And people don't really talk about that, so it's fine. So he's like, I think I'm actually at the cusp where I'm giving enough engagement. I'm giving enough followers. Yeah. I'm starting to kind of like, but who knows really where that magic number is? Is it like 100,000, 105, 110? 85? I mean, really, nobody ever really knows. I guess it's one of those things where you have to decide as a person, do you have enough, do you have a lower bills? Are you kind of positioned that way? Or like me, like, I can't imagine that I could get away from where I currently work to a point where I make enough money. And then it becomes like, then I have to consistently kind of like create videos and kind of do all that kind of stuff and perform. And then at some point, some of these people that travel to like IFA and CES and all those trade shows, and like, do I really want to be on a plane every 3 or 4 months or 3 or 4 weeks, or to fly to like Shanghai or China or the UK? Or it seems like if in the US, really, there's really no place to go. Like all the major, like CES, I guess, is in what, Las Vegas? I think that's where CES is.
They do have stuff in the US though.
Well, in Snapdragon, right? But I mean, the phones themselves, it seems like everything's either in Asia or in the UK or in Europe.
Samsung do their stuff in the US quite a lot.
I guess in New York or whatever. But if you live in like where I live in Middle Missouri, or like I'd have to fly to New York or to Washington,
There's a lot to unpack with what you just said. Like, for a start, I'm never going to be able to quit my job. I know people say never, but I'm 40. My channel's, I've only just started it this year. It's at 500 subs. Like, it's not going to happen, right? I'm not delusional. But when you talk about where you get to that point, I think it's different for different people. Like you did mention, like what their outgoings are, for example, is a factor. How good they are building relationship with brands. Like, some people have sponsors for their channels. Some people have get paid work, like to do different things. But I'm nowhere near how that. I don't know how that works. I wouldn't know how. Like, I'm borrowing these review units. Do these other guys get given them? Do they get payment for their reviews? I don't know.
Well, I would assume there are different tiers of getting phones to you.
There's got to be.
I can't imagine that people like Locker and Michael Fisher and Marquez and Super Saf and Auron, I can't imagine they are not receiving phones from those manufacturers and like, hey, just keep it. Like, I don't think they would actually ask MKBHD to basically say, hey, you know what? That phone that we sent you, can you go ahead and send that back? Because Marquez is probably like, I can buy like a fucking 100 of these things. Like, I don't really care. And I would think, I'm curious to ask them. And I've never talked to any really these high-end creators. Like, we've never had on, I mean, back in the old show, we had Super Saf and John Rettinger, and I would call Super Saf kind of a high-end, and John Rettinger. But it's like, you could just buy this phone. Like, you could just say, hey, like, I'm not returning this because like I could pay for that phone. I could buy any phone on the market. Now, obviously the early access, they're like, obviously, clearly the trifold or bifold or whatever is clearly way outside of prototype stage. Like, they gave them handheld functional units of this phone.
Yeah.
Right.
It's launching in China, isn't it?
Other people. So this is not like a prototype. This is like kind of a retail pre-production, anything like the OnePlus 15 or any Honor devices that are coming up, or any Oppo devices that are coming up for the year of 26. Like, this is clearly going to hit retail shelves in markets sometime in 2026.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they had these phones, you know, and I saw somebody make comments about like, how look at all those creases, it's ugly. It's like, dude, it's a phone that folds twice.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
That's the main
understand.
talking point. That's a bit of worry.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
it's completely and utterly crazy that these people will shit on that. I'm like,
Mm.
yeah, that might not be a phone for you. Maybe you don't need a phone that basically turns into an 11 or 12-inch tablet. But clearly, Samsung wants to give this a go. Like, they're putting R&D, and they're not actually doing a prototype. They're actually, this is a retail unit. Like, this is going to be available now. Is it worth the money that you want to spend? I don't know about that. That is something that you have to decide on your own as a consumer of technology. But my thing is, if they can figure out this after 7 iterations, I'm pretty sure Samsung can figure out how a dual folding screen works.
Yeah.
It's really not changing the game. It's just, it folds in and then it folds on top. Right. Now, because one folds inner and one folds above it, the radii of the fold is different, right? Because the inside is basically 90 degrees, but the outside's a little less. There's a gap there where it's not it's more like this instead of like this.
Yeah.
So maybe that screen, but clearly Samsung has figured out how to fold the screen. These people act like this folding screen stuff, I don't know how it's going to work out. But I mean, there's got to be people who have fold 2s and fold 3s.
Yeah.
That are still out in the world. I mean, it's like, if you don't want the durability problem, I don't understand that. And if you don't want to spend what maybe $29.99 or $28.99 for a fold, a dual fold or a tri-fold screen, I get it. But it's the same argument we had 2 or 3 years ago. We're like, oh man, if I buy this phone and if I get a fold 3, like, I don't know, is it gonna survive, 5 years of folding? I don't know that answer. You don't know that answer. And you might have a fold that lasts 5 years. You may have a fold that breaks within 6 minutes of folding it. I don't know.
Yeah. But there's still the argument that a lot of people don't even use a screen protector, right? And they rock their phone naked, even not clothing wise, but the phone itself. And there's every chance they could drop that phone.
Yeah.
We're talking about the what ifs and
well, and just like, I get it, but it's like, I mean, clearly Huawei has the XT. I mean, understandable that it doesn't have a lot of exposure to Europe. It doesn't have a lot of exposure to the US. So I've never seen, and actually I've never seen anybody actually use a Huawei phone in person. Even before the they went on the entity list back in, it was probably 2019, 2018 is when they went on the US, the US government list. It's been a while.
now.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd never even seen anybody use one. And I know Gigi, friend of the show, Rachel, she loves all those imports, right? The Huawei's, the Oppos, the Vivos, the Realmes, the Xiaomi's. She's all about those kind of phones. And I don't think obviously the software is, different because obviously bans and, other people complain about, Chinese software isn't, especially if it's not a global ROM, it becomes a problem. But hardware wise, I really don't see a lot of people complaining about the fact that there's a lot of failure in the screens and the hinges of these phones. I just don't hear that very often. Now, just because maybe people break them and they don't tell anybody, but there's not this widespread every one of these Huawei Mate XTs with a dual fold, they crack and break and they suck and don't buy them. I'm like, well, who's spending $3,000 for a Huawei XT anyway? And on top of that, I still I don't understand it. Again, I can't. I mean, I've looked at it. I think, man, that would be cool. Will I be getting one of the first generation ones? Probably not. Although it is Samsung, at least I know the software is going to be there, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But I think they figured out the folding screen. It just has 2 folds now. But I don't really understand. It's like they make it sound like it's like, oh, this is the first foray into a folding device. And it's like, it really isn't.
No,
This is
not
something
at
they've been
all.
doing for 7 or 8 iterations.
Granted, it's something different, but yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, but it basically just I just like the fact too that you can only fold it a certain way. And I guess if you go from left to right and try to fold, it goes, don't do it. You got to do this and then this. I like it. It's kind of nice that the software kind of prompts you to say, hey, don't fold it like that. Fold it
yeah.
right. That's kind of nice because you don't want to break the damn thing.
Yeah.
Although I'm pretty sure people are going to do it anyway and not see the software prompt, and they're going to go, and that's
Got a
going to
fair few more join the chat. We've got Andrew and Jermaine
Andrews,
and
yeah, and Jason.
Yep.
Yeah, and he actually right, but at the end of the day, it's like he and Jason posted a really good video on our, I think it was in our, we have a tech disruptors. And oh, by the way, folks, if you're not aware of the tech disruptors, that is a thing. You should check out their channel. They have a show. It's kind of like ours, although it's way more planned out, way better quality
Yeah,
as far
nothing
as
like ours actually.
they talk about like actual articles and have debates. We just like riff. So yeah, and they go off right after us usually. So check them out, and they're on a hiatus, but although we will be back next Sunday, I think it's the 28th, right? Is the
for the best tech of 2025.
Yeah,
show.
and then and Jason had posted and I didn't know who this is. Versus, I guess it's their channel. It's just Versus, right? It's got 500,000 subscribers, and it's basically a blind camera test. And I was watching it while I was waiting for Joe to show up here, and I have a good feeling people are going to be pretty freaked out by this blind camera test. Like I only got about 2/3 through this video, and the video's total is like it's like
whose blind video test is?
It's called the channel is Versus. It's just Versus. Like,
okay.
I've never heard of it, and Jason had posted it in our chat. Well, in the combined chat, and it looks pretty good. I started looking through. I'm like, okay, and so far on these camera comparisons, I'm thinking that I look at the pictures, like I would pick this one. Some of the ones that are actually making it through their semifinals, and interesting choices. Interesting.
Yeah, I always find that with MKBHD's one. People go for the bright images, the HDR look ones where the shadows are lifted massively and not actually what's technically the best, but what's visually pleasing to them. So that's I don't really like them Versus so much sometimes. Well, because the images they take as well aren't always great either.
Well, and Jermaine kind of, I guess he piggybacks that comment. Basically, the people who are making the comments about the photos they're looking at, there aren't photographers, right?
No.
They may be people like me who are just looking at the image and going, "Oh, I think A is better than B." I guess it's like anything else, right? Remember, they have like they do taste tests, right? Blind taste tests have drink A and drink B and the thing, and you trade it like what tastes better. It's like, well, I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those things where I don't put a lot of scientific measure in that. I just find it interesting that they continue to do these kind of chats or these videos, and people are kind of watching and going, "Hey, here's the thing." I just thought it was interesting as I'm watching and kind of going,
"Oh yeah, definitely interesting." Yeah,
what people actually like, which is versus what may be photographically superior to an actual photographer. Those are two different things. I don't know. I'm just kind of curious. I think it's kind of interesting. So, anyway, so yeah, it's good to see that Jermaine's in chat because I know he's actually said he's working. He's actually doing some editing, so he's kind of half editing, half paying attention to this. Tell you what, Jermaine, why don't you stop listening to this horse shit and why don't you go ahead and just edit because you have responsibilities other than to listen to this nonsense that we're doing. But if you can multitask, we appreciate you being here and thank you so much for joining in. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. The winner of the video.
Surprising.
Well, yeah, I'm curious. Well, they're really talking about, at least in the section that I've watched, I guess it's the first maybe 11, 12 minutes of this video. It's really been all pictures. They haven't gotten to the video part of it. So, and he can decently multitask. Okay, well, good. Yeah, well, then that's fine. We just don't want you to not be able to put your best effort into the editing and the content creation that you're so well known for.
Oh, he's very particular. I don't think he will do that.
As opposed to listening to the silliness that we're just out here riffing about. So I thought it was kind of interesting to see. So I don't know, the trifold or bifold or dual fold, whatever they're going to call it. We'll wait and see. I mean, I guess I guess they have an official name. It's right. What, the Z
It says
trifold?
trifold. Yeah, it says
Yeah, Z
trifold,
trifold.
which for me sounds like trifle, and I keep
Yeah,
telling everyone that.
yeah. I just it doesn't fold 3 times.
No, it doesn't.
Whatever. That's fine.
Whatever.
Whatever. It's okay. So we got that going on. I obviously the OnePlus 15 and 15R. Although I guess the 15R is that available next month? I guess it's next month, January-ish, mid-January.
If it goes through all the sanctions and
right. I mean, obviously they have the 15. I mean, they always have the R series phones, right?
Yeah.
I don't know really. I don't understand where OnePlus is at. Although I think that the battery and the tech and everything else is great, but the camera's kind of. I understand everyone's like, well, that doesn't really make a difference, but it kind of does. And they were on a kind of like, I remember OnePlus cameras were kind of mid, and then they had this they started kind of trajectory up with the OnePlus 13, right? That was kind of like really, and then they decided oh, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna give you all this other stuff, which for a consumer like me is probably acceptable, but for anybody else who really is kind of like, we were excited about OnePlus's photography trajectory going up. Now you got this, and it's like, well, can't you do them both? And I guess they could do them both, but are we at a $1,200, $1,300 phone now? I don't know. I guess what do you think about OnePlus with the 15 to 15R?
It's still cheaper, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, $899 basically.
For me, I mean, I like mobile photography, right? But I totally understand it. What they're doing. Remember, Oppo is the flagship brand now for that BBK. So they've got the Hasselblad and all the camera jobs. But what they're doing with OnePlus is kind of back to its roots, because it was more a device that was known for its fluidity, for its nice software experience, for being a bit of a powerhouse for gaming and stuff like that.
Right. It wasn't really a camera-centric phone.
No. And it's kind of going back to them roots, really, which I think is a good thing, really. And this is not to say that the cameras are rubbish. They're just not up there with the flagship devices, but they're more than good enough for most people. I reckon I'd be happy with a OnePlus 15 as my main device. And when you talk about the 15R, that's a lot of phone for your money, man. That is.
Well, yeah, and on top of that too. But I guess my question is have we shifted from people pretty much now really want the camera chops? That's something they're not willing to compromise. Maybe 5-7 years ago, maybe if they would have just stayed on hey, we're not the best camera, we're not the best computational photography, we're none of that kind of stuff, but we are staying here, and then we're going to go any kind of battery performance stuff is going to be here.
I think that is the shake up with BBK, and they didn't have a clear strategy for a long time, it looked like.
Right.
Whereas now they look like they've got a bit more clarity about what they're doing with each brand.
The problem is, in the United States, obviously we can get a OnePlus 15, but in the United States you can't get an Oppo, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, it's if both were available and they said, okay, if you really want powerhouse, if you really want charging, if you really want that kind of raw spec beast thing, clearly the OnePlus is your jam. However, in the United States, if you're more camera centric and you want good performance, but not, here, if you're more camera focused, here's the Oppo. Well, you don't have that in the United States. So it's really and granted, I don't think BBK is doing anything really focusing on an American market. I think they're just doing what they're doing, right? Because they realize, well, if you're in the UK, you can get a OnePlus 15, you can get an Oppo Find N or Oppo Find whatever, or Oppo X300 or whatever the shit is. I have no idea what the models are because I don't pay attention that much. But you have both choices, and you can go camera centric or performance centric.
Yeah.
In the US, you don't really have the access to Oppo that you would. So you really have to go, well, if cameras are my thing and Oppo's and OnePlus decided to go more performance based, I'm going to get a degraded camera experience. Maybe I need to stick with the Pixel, or maybe I need to stay on my Samsung, or maybe I can go to an iPhone, or whatever. It's such a complicated mess, and we could spend literally. That's the reason why we have the show, right? We could spend weeks talking about what
let's
really
quickly talk about the hardware, right, of the telephoto on the 15, right?
Mhm.
So the 15 is a 50 megapixel f2.8, and it does 3.5x optical, and it has a sensor size of 1/2.76 inch sensor, right? Now,
It's pretty good.
what that's pretty well. It's not great. It's not a great sensor, but it's okay. But the price on the OnePlus 15 is how much? $899, right? Let's look at the iPhone 17 Pro Max telephoto sensor size. Should we look at that?
Yeah.
That's a 1/2.55 inch sensor,
Okay.
right? So the sensor size is not too big, too different on the OnePlus 15 at $899 to the 17 Pro Max. So hardware wise, I mean, there's more stuff to it than that. The Pro Max has got a Sony IMX 973, which is probably a better sensor, but it's not terrible. Actually, no, it's a JM5 on the OnePlus 15, so that's not a bad sensor either. They're pretty comparable. So we're talking about a phone that's a lot cheaper, and people poo-pooing on the camera, but it's not that bad.
Well,
when you compare
are
it
they
to what else-
pooping on the
what-
camera because of the downgrade from the 13? People are like, hey, like
Yeah.
we saw this upward trajectory with OnePlus, like the 12 and 13. It's like we would thought that, like, okay, this camera finally, the one Achilles heel of OnePlus is the cameras, right? And now we're kind of on this kind of
From what I've
upward
seen,
slope.
Sam,
Yeah,
the comparisons I've seen have been more fair.
right.
It's not that bad, the camera. Yeah, it's
Right.
not flagship, but we're talking about the device that's worth $899, not over $1,000. I
Right.
think it's a good proposition, even in the US still. But I don't know. I think sometimes reviews look at the negatives too much. Maybe I look at the positives too much. I don't know.
Well, I think the reviews, yeah, I agree. I think they may look at the negatives too much, but I think they're also trying to, I don't think they are trying to objectively hit a target of objectability, right? They're like, hey, well, I know if I say this, then I'm going to get significant amount of pushback or whatever. And I just don't think that these reviews necessarily are as impactful. I guess that's, I don't really have a better adjective to describe it, but
yeah,
I guess
their
yeah,
titles and their thumbnails and
right, the titles and the thumbnails, it's about engagement to watch the video to give you some
Yeah.
kind of like, well, this might be a thing, but it's like, is it really a thing? And again, and somebody, I don't know who made the comment. And I don't remember if it was one on Marquez's videos or somebody else was like, you realize that most of the people watching these videos are tech enthusiasts. They are not
Yeah.
regular people going to a store. Obviously, in the US, nobody's buying phones off contract. Like, they're just not doing that, right? So those people who are buying these devices, are they really watching? They don't even know who Marquez Brownlee is. Marquez Brownlee is clearly, he talked to the president, President Obama. He's been on Joe Rogan's podcast. He's clearly somebody who's known. But I guarantee you pick 100 Americans and you pull them off to the side and say, hey, who's Marquez Brownlee? I would bet that 20 out of 100 would know who he is.
Yeah.
Or at least be fairly familiar with. And probably 5 out of those 10 would watch his videos, and 1 out of 10 might be considered somebody like us. Right. And again, so I guess my question is my question is, who really is benefiting from these videos? Right. What? Oh, hey, what's up, Sean? My man. Hey, how you doing, sir? You people tech. Hey, what's up? What up, though? Hey, Sean. Hey, happy holidays, man. I haven't seen you in a while, my friend. How are you, sir? So I guess my question is, these videos that are coming out, like, who are they really for? They're clearly not for regular people. Like average, like what is Juan called? Average consumers, right?
Yeah.
And my question is, are we kind of in the golden age of tech enthusiasts watching videos about stuff? And really, are they watching videos just so they can go, is that confirmation bias? Like, yeah, I already knew I like the OnePlus, so I'm going to buy it. Or it's like, oh, you think the OnePlus is this, that, and the third, so you suck, and clearly you're a shill. And just to kind of get online and have an argument with these said creators, which is silly to me anyway.
Yeah.
These people are doing good work, and they're doing great work, and they're doing it for free. Like, really, they're, unless they have like really serious, really serious channels. I mean, these people are creating videos on YouTube. We do this for free. I have no interest in trying to monetize this because I really don't care.
Yeah.
But I guess my question is at some point, do you think these videos kind of just go, they're more entertainment? And I mean, like when I'm looking for a OnePlus 15, I kind of already know because I've had OnePluses. It's like, well, I mean, obviously the camera's a little bit less than sensors, right? But if you're really looking for a OnePlus 15, are you relying on Aaron and all these other people, and even people like Adam and Adam Dowd, and more like freelance writers and lower end creators to kind of say, hey, this is a good phone?
Yeah.
Or are you just thinking, hey man, I need to buy a phone, I'm going to go ahead, I like OnePlus, I think the OnePlus 15 looks great, and for me, battery's great. The silicon carbide battery is awesome. It looks like it lasts 2 days, and it's a really good device, and it's going to be a powerhouse phone. And I should be able to get probably 4 or 5 years of really good, solid performance on this phone. That's what I care about, so I'm going to go with that. Plus, it's less than $900, so why not go for it? I just don't know.
Yeah, it's difficult. Like I think Jermaine's talking about it in comments about. I decently often get, I have bought this, I agree, or something. This, yeah, I've seen
confirmation. I agree with Jermaine. I think a lot of it's just confirmation bias. Is like,
I was going to say, I think
you're already leaning to Oppo, or you're leaning to Vivo, or you're leaning to Realme or Honor or Moto or whatever, and you see somebody's like, hey, I actually got a pre-release version of the Moto 70 or the Honor, Pro Max Lite or whatever. I'm going to go do this. I'm like, you're like, yeah, he said it didn't suck, and other people say it doesn't suck because it doesn't suck. And so I'm like, okay, I can justify spending $699. Like, okay, that might be my next device.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of these videos are for. And they're for the brands,
right?
That's the answer. They're for the brands, so that's why the brands give YouTubers the devices to use, and they make videos for the brands to sell. That's it. That's the answer. It's for the brands.
And like I said, and I want to ask you this because I'm really curious, because I won't experience this because I'm not willing to dip my feet into that pool, right? So like when you're a channel like you're doing, are you focusing on, like, I think that the videos that you do that are more of like, hey, when you get your Honor device, here's how you should use it. Here's the settings.
So that's a good point, Sam, because that's where I think my videos are best. My best videos are, and the more useful things like that. So I'm going to do one on Magic OS 10 on the V5 at some point. I think I have to do a mixture of the other stuff though, because
if you don't have the other stuff, you can't get the phones to do the other stuff about how to use the phone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it just seems like it's just for a smaller channel or a mid lower or mid tier channel. It just seems like you got to really spend a lot of time doing all that. And I guess if you are kind of at home and you're maybe not in a family and you're like I'm all in on trying to create content. I guess it works out pretty good, but man, for folks like you, and I watch people like you who, I don't have the situation. My daughters are 24 years old. Like they live at home, which is funny because I thought they were going to move out. I have no idea why they're still here. I guess I must have missed a memo somewhere. I thought they were supposed to like get some stuff because they were so smart. Well, they were like at 15 and 17, like, I know stuff and Dad's stupid and I'm going to like figure it out. And they like, clearly I'm a moron, right? And then they won't leave. Like, I don't understand that. Anyway,
you got it too good there, mate. That's why.
Well, apparently so. Like, I got like a nice soft landing pad, apparently. So whatever. And but at the end of the day, it's just like I really don't understand. I really don't understand the landscape of these YouTube videos are. I think people like Adam do a great job. I think Shane does a good job, especially in the foldable space. But I'm like, But I think by the time I do a lot of people who watch and really enthusiastically involve tech, are they really that swayed? Like, I guess my question is like, when I decided to get a phone, I guess it was like, well, nobody says like this phone is straight trash at every level. It's, it's whatever. It's $400. It's really about, man, for $400, this phone should do all these things. It should cut open cans. It should do all this shit. And it's like, okay, well, I don't know. But if you get a phone that's obviously a budget device, like a Moto G Power, there's compromises there. But if you're getting a mid-range phone, like I think we're to the point where all these phones are pretty good. Like they may not take the best pictures. They may have like slower charging speeds. They maybe have like a MediaTek and they don't have great processing power in case if you want to do like, CapCut and shit like that. But I think at the end of the day, it's like, I don't think any phone you buy in 2026 coming up is going to really not serve the budget that you're looking for the most part.
I don't know the cost of this yet. The Magic 8 Lite, which I did a video on recently.
It looks like a great phone.
It's a Snapdragon 6 Gen 4 chipset, right? So it's a really low-end chipset. Could I rock this device as my main device? Yeah, quite easily. It's decent enough. It's got a beautiful screen, 7,500 milliamp hour battery.
I mean, that's at least a 2-day phone if you're using it.
Yeah, and it's got 108 megapixel main camera, and yes, it's not great in lower light and moving subjects, but it's just a phone, man. It does most of the things I need it to do, and I'd argue it's good enough for most people. But it's not the phone I would rock.
Right. And I do like Sean's. This comment's great. I watch the videos as a supplement to my purchase decision. Right. I'm a tech savvy enough to know if I like a product, use it like a commercial. Right. But I guess my question would be, Sean, is so you're kind of already leaning that way. It's a supplement, right? So it's not like, would you buy the phone without the supplementary video? Or it's like, I'm thinking I'm leaning that way, but I need a couple of other like supplemental videos that go, yeah, it's not hella trash. I'm in. Like, I don't know. Like for me, this comment is great because I think this is a lot how people like Sean, who are fantastic people, great tech enthusiasts. This is, I think, what they do. Like, I'm leaning towards this device, or maybe I'm like, hey, I haven't really had a nothing phone before. People are talking about the nothing phone. Maybe it's time to kind of dive in and see what the fuck this thing's about. Like, I think that's for people like me. I think that's how I use these YouTube videos. Like, I realize, like, I've never had an Honor device. I've never had an Oppo. Now, granted, I know Sean's going to give me shit about it. I know I'm on that big blue nut. Be that as it may, I know like Sean's going to give me shit about it. It's fine. And then he has every right to do so. And I will take that feedback and criticism because I'm leaning into it. But at the end of the day, it's like, I think this is what a lot of the tech enthusiasts do. Like, they're watching it as a supplement to a purchase decision. They're already decided because they're smart enough to know specs and tech and history of that brand. They know what's going on. And they're just going to like, yeah, this is pretty good. Oh, I know. Frankly, I know I need to get off the plantation. It's crazy. I need to go to T-Mobile. They're so good. It's the best. MVNOs are so good. Anyway, maybe a lot. Anyways, I need to get off the plantation. It's okay. But like I said, that honor could it serve 90% of your needs?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe so. I don't know. Like I said, at the end of the day, it's like one of those things where I'm curious what the landscape of the tech videos are going to be. Are we just kind of like in this like rinse and repeat cycle? It's like, it seems like, okay, 2026 is coming up. We're going to get this phone. We're going to get the S26. We're going to get the iPhone 18. And we're just in this kind of like cycle. And are you okay with that? Or are we looking for something to kind of disrupt that? But does that mean like the end of sponsorships and phones and these mindless YouTube videos? Like, I don't understand. Like, what's the end goal? Like, what's the next evolution of the tech space and the tech creator? Like, I don't know what that is. And we're just going to do this endless cycle forever.
It hasn't changed much for quite some time, has it really?
Right.
I mean, you got all different types of people though, like creators. Like One Bag Nil is very different to Tom the Tech Chap, for example. They do very different content.
Right.
Um,
Well, I think it's because they attack it from the outside, knowing that they're trying to be disruptive. Like Juan definitely has a lot of hot takes that a lot of people inside that sphere don't really either one agree with, or two, if they agree with, they are going to verbalize in the chat. Right? Juan is totally willing to go, to places that people don't want to go to and having uncomfortable conversations about tech. The problem is, I don't think we have enough of those folks in that space that really disrupt.
I'm very positive type of guy, so
right.
I don't talk about I do mention the stuff I don't like, but I don't talk too much about it. So I'm part of the problem.
Well, it's a balancing act. You can't. You want to come off as authentic and legitimate, and making sure that people know
main goal. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like, but these brands don't want any kind of negative feedback whatsoever. So if you want to continue to get these phones and have this engagement and talk,
I disagree. I think some brands are actually fine about negative. It depends which brand you're talking about. Some are actually fine with it. They'd rather you be honest and say what you don't like about it, because that's how they improve. But there's certain brands, Apple, who do not want to hear anything negative about their devices.
Right, and Joanne says he's given some honest feedback to Vivo, and they've been pretty receptive to it.
Yeah, see, I think Honor are quite receptive to it as well. So yeah.
What about Moto?
Moto, I think are. Yeah, I mean, I've not really fed back much, but I think they probably are. I mean, they sent me a Christmas jumper. They seem pretty happy.
So, I guess I just, at the end of the day, I just don't know if we're gonna. I want to try to see that people have their needs met, and they want to have these videos. And if you're into commercials or infomercials or confirmation bias, okay, that's fine. And obviously, you will find plenty of videos on the internet that will serve that need. But I think, for the most part, I think that most people who are buying a phone really aren't watching our stuff. Like, they're not watching people. And our stuff, I act like I'm some kind of like a tech influencer. I'm not. But people who are doing that kind of like content creation, they're not watching Adam Matlock's channel. They're not watching Shane. They're not watching you. They're not watching this. Now, I think that once they get the phone and they like, hey, like, I don't know how to do anything on this phone, and they look up how to find this. To me, if I were going to get into the tech space and making videos, I would do that. Is, hey, here is how to better optimize your iPhone. Here's how to better optimize, or when the feature drops come out from Google or whatever, like, hey, or One UI 8.1 or 9.0 comes out, like, hey, here's the new changes. Because I think people aren't going to look at the release notes and just like scan through this shit and go, okay, well, I could do this. It's like, hey, Apple lets you do this now. Samsung lets you do this. Google lets you do this. Here's the new features. Here's the camera features. Here's the call screening features. Here's the Photos app they have given you. And showing people how to use those things, I think that
my TikTok, right? My most popular video is just skip.
I don't know your emojis. The
emojis is this one here, right? How to scan QR codes on an Honor device.
Right.
26K that one's got, right? And it's by far my most popular one. And it's not a great video, but that's the most popular one.
I think people would have
what you're saying. There's a.
I think people there is some. I really think there is some demerit to that, because one, those are the features that they would need to know how to use when they buy the device, and maybe they're coming from a different device and don't know how to use an Honor or whatever. The second thing is it's device and version agnostic unless they change the feature, right? So if they say, here's how you do the thing, that thing's probably going to be how you do the thing, probably for 4 or 5 or 6 iterations. So it's like, it's development and iteration proof, right? chances are that's what Honor's going to do for the next 2 or 3 devices or whatever.
And again, my long form, going to what you're saying again, 15K on my top tips for Magic OS 9.
Yeah, it's the tips. People
but the rest
don't
of my videos are pants.
yeah, they're pants, right? And so that's fine. But it's not because, and I don't think it's pants because of your content. I don't think it's pants because of your delivery. It's because they've already bought the goddamn thing. They wanted like, how do I use this stupid thing? Like, how many apps and then also at the end of the day, there's some other things that are kind of like, they decided to do this. They've changed this. They've added this. They've done this. And it's like, people don't know how to use their phones. There's so many features and options that you don't have. And I've even gotten to the point where I've kind of like, at the end of the day, I'm like, man, holy crap. I like these features come out. I don't really know how to use all these things because I haven't really kind of dived into any of it, you know?
And that's why I bought this camera overhead thing so that I can do drop down shots for how to and top tips videos because I realized that's what people want on my channel. So I want to do more of that. And I actually enjoy doing them because it's nice being useful, you know?
Yeah. And Jermaine's talking about lack of soul and over processing cases were raw. Yeah. I'm glad you were able to give that feedback and they were receptive to it. And Andrew said there's a channel you call Proper Honest Tech that does exactly that for iPhone. Sam, great. Okay. Yeah. There you go. So, you know, that I think for views and longevity and actual, to me, if I were going to see myself doing the thing, it's like, hey, I've got my Z Fold 7. I've been using that for 6 months. The phone still kicks ass. However, I noticed that you can do a bunch of shit on this phone that you probably didn't know you could do. Like, did you know that you could take pictures, right? And with a simple camera thing, you can take pictures, right? And you can use your cover screen to frame your shot. Pretty cool, right? Right? And things that people don't really know that they can do, especially on phones like Samsung that have tons of capability and features that are just kind of
very feature rich, man.
Buried in this fucking menu. It's like, I don't know what the hell half this shit does. And so, yeah, I can take a picture. I know it's crazy, right? I can take photos. Frankly, I can take all the photos.
Sam's just learned how to take a picture of his phone.
Like, I know. I pushed the button. All of a sudden, this thing called Camera. I don't know what that app is. There's a Camera. I don't know what that is. There's a Camera app. Who knows? And you click on it, and it gives you like the ability to take photographs. Like, who knew that was a thing? Like, I have no idea that these phones can do that stuff. It's cray, right? Anyway, so I'm just kidding. I'm making pictures. But I'm just saying,
quickly,
I think that those have better engagement anyway. So,
Sam, Ted said he watches on his TV sometimes. So let's give Ted a little hello, Ted.
Hey, he's watching on his TV. God forbid, God, you're going to see this ugly face in like a wider format. You stick to a monitor and stick to a phone, dude. You don't want to look at this ugly ass shit. Oh, by the way, folks, I want anybody in the chat. You're seeing this shirt, right? So I want anybody to tell me if you're in the chat and you're seeing this video. I want you to tell me what this shirt says. I'm gonna hold it up here. I've never worn this shirt. I've had this one for years.
This is great for a podcast. This is.
If you are well, the problem is you know, you'll have to watch it later. And
if you are listening to the audio version for this episode, you're going to have to pop over to the Nomad Tech Project YouTube channel and see the visuals of Sam's
so
t-shirt.
And you love pie, but that's not the entirety of this.
Well, Sam, you could put a picture on Twix. Put a picture on Twix for them to see.
Yeah, I will take a picture of the shirt. But at the end of the day, it is pie, and you do love pie. However, that's not the entirety of this entire statement from.
I got part of it, didn't I?
You got all 3 of the 4 parts, but you missed. Yeah. I think you missed this part right here.
I missed that bit, which was a bit I should have got easier, really.
Right. But I think that's the easiest one to get, other than the pot.
Somehow I didn't get that.
Well, obviously you can do the, you can do the, 2 to the 3rd part. You can do that.
Yeah.
This might freak people out if you're not a math person. If you're not, if you just like paid attention, if you were like half awake in Algebra 1, there you go. 8, right? That's 8. That's right. 8. This is the one that Joe didn't get, and this is the one that most people don't get, but you can't skip this because this is 4 words inside of this t-shirt. So if you have to look it up on Google, go do it. But if you're a math nerd, I'm kind of a math nerd. I've had this shirt for a long time. I just never wore it on the show. So anyway, that's a lot of fun. And the only other thing I want to my buddy, and this is tech related, so don't like I'm not going to link the article here. I will
What, as if
talk
we
about it.
sway on anything else other than tech?
But there's a website I'm a big fan of. It's called Tom's Hardware, right? So if you're a fan, it's tomshardware.com, and they talk about, and I'm just going to read the article's header. It's North Korean infiltrator caught working in Amazon IT department thanks to lag. So he had 110 millisecond keystroke input. So apparently Amazon had a sysadmin who wound up being a North Korean infiltrator. And how they caught him was apparently they're they key off 100 millisecond keystrokes, and this one was just a little slower than 100 milliseconds. And they wound up tracking this guy down and finding out that not only was he not really supposed to be there and vetted, he wound up being a North Korean imposter. And this is at AWS, by the way, Amazon Web Services, by the way.
Wow.
So yeah, just be careful, because there are people afoot. I ate pie. So I'll let it go. I'm gonna see if anybody actually says anything about it. If not, before we get into the show, I'll actually give away this right here. So anyway, just funny, just so you know that this is how we do things, right? This is, everything, all technology is susceptible to penetration, intrusion, theft, everything else. And just realize that these companies are doing their best they can to try to have security protocols in place, but at the end of the day, it's still people doing the things. So
they get penetration tested, don't they?
They have pen testing and stuff like that. But again, this guy was actually working inside of Amazon as a sysadmin. So it's kind of hard to kind of do, obviously do pen testing.
He could have stuck rogue devices all over, couldn't he?
Right. Well, I who knows? I mean,
I'm assuming he did.
And the article doesn't say how long he worked there, what he have access to, and because remember,
what did he get? What info did he get?
Right. And so, it's just an interesting article, just because it's like, hey, just because we talk about these tech things, obviously we talk about security, we talk about privacy to your data. I did read this. And here's the thing. I'm going to touch on this briefly. I don't know who Lamar Wilson is.
No, I don't. Apparently,
he was fairly well known. I can't tell you that I've ever seen any of his content. He seemed like a nice guy, but he was only 48 years old. So that's kind of awful, man.
He seemed like a really nice guy. And way too young to go. So it's very sad news.
Yeah. And nobody wants to see anybody who's beloved and who's a good person kind of, have that kind of situation happen. But realize at the end of the day, folks, we're all just trying to do a job here. We're all kind of just, at the end of the day, but the people like the Marquez Brownlees and the iJustines and all those other folks, they are regular people who have regular problems, regular lives, regular things. They do stuff. 48 years old is obviously not the time that you would think that somebody would be passing away. No. And obviously, I feel bad because I saw the articles come out and I saw the kind of content and I saw people making, comments about his passing. I just felt bad because I'm like, and I guess this is because I don't really watch a whole lot of content when I'm not. I have my people I go to, and this gentleman, he looks familiar, but I can't swear to any of his content, and I just kind of feel bad because we're all a tech community, right? And we need to take care of each other, and it just sucks. And for whatever reason, of his passing, I don't know the circumstances behind it. Like I said, I don't know this gentleman. But a lot of people said they met him even just for a few moments, that he was really nice and he was really gracious and he was really fun to talk to. And a lot of people worked more extensively with Lamar. Said he was amazing. Right. And it's just it just sucks that nice people, good people, pass on. But this is what I always tell people is like, hey, if you have relationships with, friends, creators, anybody else, people in your family, friends of yours, people you work with that you really like to work with and stuff, who are just realize that, don't take anything for granted that you're going to come into the office on Monday and they'll be there, because they may not be there. And it's just make sure, if you're out and about and you haven't talked to your parents in a while, or you haven't talked to your brother and sister in a while, or you don't have close contact to your family and you really care about that person, like if they passed away and you would really be upset about it, don't try not to let a lot of damage in your relationships cause you to not have contact with these folks, unless you've been down that path and it's really destructive and all that kind of stuff. I clearly don't want anybody to be traumatized or be, in a situation where they're reaching out to people and then my brother is basically a bully and he's basically a piece of shit, right? I get it, but it's a sad situation. You don't want to see people like this that you care about, that you have interactions with, that you're, especially people aren't supposed to pass away at 48 from stuff, right? You expect that they were going to be around for a while. So it's a sad situation. And I feel bad for, condolences to his family and friends who have to kind of deal with this situation. And like I said, unfortunately for me, I don't know the gentleman. But
especially at the Christmas period, the festive period it's not nice to.
Yeah. I mean, and because then people tie that to that loss.
Yeah.
Although I don't think, here's the thing, I guess this is just my personal opinion. I don't think a death at Christmas is necessarily inherently more sad or worse. It's just that the people, when they think about a holiday, if they were really close to this,
comes linked. Yeah.
Right. They link that to, the mom passed away right before Christmas or on Christmas Day. I mean, I've heard stories about people who have mothers that pass away on Mother's Day. I mean,
yeah.
And I'm going to share something that I probably maybe get in trouble, but whatever. But my own family, my mother-in-law had an issue on Mother's Day where we had some concerns about that. And it's just like, obviously you don't want to have that day tied to that event, right? But I
mean, it's already tied to mothers anyway. So I mean, my mum passed away, Mother's Day, you would think of them, wouldn't you? Anyway, it's just natural, whether they passed away then or not.
And then in my situation, my own mother passed the same day that what's the gentleman, the guy that played Black Panther? I can't remember his name.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what's his name? God damn, I'm drawing a blank on it. Chadwick Boseman. Yeah, he died that at the evening, and then 3 hours later, I got a phone call that my mom had passed. So now that at least, I guess it's kind of in a funny way. It's kind of interesting because I never will remember the day my mother passed away, but it's actually tied to Chadwick Boseman, who's a beloved actor who passed away due to, I guess, a serious medical cancer issue. Like, I didn't know he was sick. So it's just make sure you always you realize that we're all terminal here, folks, on the planet Earth. We all have our day, and we're all going to check out one day and try to, enjoy those times you have with folks, and try not to take things for granted, because you just, don't take things for granted. Just your own health, time with folks. If you have somebody who says, "Hey, want to go out and spend some time," see if you can do that, because you don't want to look back and then something happens to them and you miss an opportunity to spend some time and say hi or have a phone call or a conversation with those folks. So
how sweet is this, Sam? Chad bought me a £20 gift voucher for Costa from the US to the UK.
So it's like Costa, like a straight grocery store, or is it more like a Walmart kind of thing?
Costa is a coffee place.
Oh, okay. But they have Costa. They have Costas in like I know you and the little daughter, they go to Costa all the time and you have a little thing, but is it like just a straight coffee shop? Or is it like
man? Yeah, okay. Coffee shop. It's like Starbucks.
Do they have Starbucks in the UK? I guess I do. Have you ever tried Starbucks versus Costa? Which coffee is better?
Yeah.
Generally?
I mean, I'm more of a Costa fan myself.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's, some people like Starbucks more, but
it's okay. I mean, I'd go there every once in a while. I do. They have a thing I do on Sunday when I'm going on the way to. I drive on the way to Tai Chi. I take Tai Chi. I'm learning how to do Tai Chi. I wouldn't call myself even a practitioner, but they have a thing called the Cortado. It's like a little 8-ounce like triple shot espresso thing. Yeah. Really, really good. And I get like a brown sugar or maple sugar. It's really pretty decent. Like
On that note, I tried it when Costa had it. They had a caramel cortado for a little while, which was really nice.
Yeah. Now the little one she gets, is it hot chocolate? She always gets a hot chocolate.
Yeah, it's called a baby chino, a chocolate baby chino.
A chocolate baby chino. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. She's and she's not getting little. She's 6 already.
Yeah, 6 in January. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's getting out of control. It means I'm getting old. Holy shit, dude. Yeah. I mean, I know you're getting old, but I don't give a shit if you're getting old because you're not even an old guy. Me, I'm like, I mean, clearly. I mean, seriously, it's
She's aged me, man. I mean,
it's crazy. Oh, last night I want to tell you that we went. Do you know what the concept of a speakeasy is in the UK?
Speakeasy.
Yeah.
No, go on.
Okay.
Fire away.
Okay, so a speakeasy is like a kind of underground. They came up in the 30s because in the United States there was a time where alcohol was prohibited. It was called prohibition, right? So it was
Okay.
congressionally you could not have alcohol, right? So they had these essentially little underground pubs and bars, and they were kind of like. So it was kind of cool. So it's behind like these two metal, like electrical panels that look like just nothing. And it's like the little thing goes. They open up and they're like, it's like, what's your password? The password is go fuck yourself. Like, yeah, go right. Like, or like, it's Pampers is sandwich or Labubu. I don't know what the password is. And you go down this like tunnel to like essentially it's an underground bar. And this was like a craft bar. So they was like, now back in the day, speakeasies were just like straight alcohol, right? Whatever, moonshine or whatever, because they had to be very careful about making alcohol and not having it visible to authorities, right?
Yeah.
This was like a craft bar, and it was nice. Yeah, all sorts of crazy shit. I wish I would have taken to the drink menu, but some of these craft cocktails were pretty wild. And we had a good time. I had some friends of mine. It's a gentleman I go camping with, so this is him and his wife, Conway, and it was a good time. Like I had never been to a speakeasy. It was basically an underground craft bar.
Is that what it's called? Speakeasy.
It's called a speakeasy. Yeah, I don't know if they have a British equivalent to that because I don't think alcohol was ever banned in the UK in the thousands of years that the United Kingdom has been around. I don't think they ever banned it constitutionally or federally.
No, we just drink whenever we want.
Right, because I don't know. They would. So, anyways, in the United States, that was kind of a thing back in the 30s.
Speakeasy, right? Hidden, dim lit, and unidentifiable bars. Yeah,
that was what it was, and they have. We checked it out last night. It was really, really pretty cool. And really, honestly, it has that same vibe. It's very, dimly lit. It's supposed to have that same kind of like underground kind of vibe to it. But it was just basically a nice little craft bar. I was actually pretty impressed. It was really nice. I had a couple of cocktails that I thought were pretty interesting, right? Some of them were really kind of high end. I'm like, holy shit, this is kind of like fancy.
There's one called Sibbin Speakeasy in London.
Oh, okay. So they do have a concept of that. So again, it's just like an underground, low key, dimly lit. It's supposed to be underground.
Yeah, it looks like it is by the looks of things.
Yeah, so you should check that out, London. Sibbin Speakeasy. Oh, it's got pretty good reviews. Yeah, although that one, the picture of that one's pretty well lit compared to the one we were on. The one we were on was pretty. I sent you pictures. Yeah. So, let's see if I can. So this is. I'm gonna find the.
I don't know if it is the same concept though or not.
Let's see if I can try to. Oh. Can I see? Okay, I want to see if I can try to show you.
Oh, it's at the Great Scotland Yard Hotel.
Okay, so let's see. All right, let's try this. So let's go here. All right, so I'm going to share because this is the inside. Yeah, let me do this because Becky, who is my co-pilot here, she sent me.
Sibbin, just quickly, that's probably not the right pronunciation, is named after the Irish word for homemade whiskey. Which goes with the theme, right?
So this is the inside. Now, this, granted, if you're looking at this picture, she took this photo, but it wasn't as well lit as this. It was a lot dimmer than.
Well, that's what phones do, right?
Right, exactly. So I'm trying to see if I can. Does that help make the image bigger for folks?
Well, that's better. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the inside of. We were obviously in a little velvet kind of like half seat thing. That was pretty cool. And so let me see. Let me go to the next one here. Hold on a second here. Let me go back. I just don't want to share anything untoward. So okay, so this is the. Well, I mean, I don't have anything untoward. I have none of the porns, so it's fine. But I'm just trying to stay out there. Right. But anyway, so let's see. Let me share. No, share. Share screen, window, this.
Close down.
So this is the entrance. Essentially, this is what it was. It was a door with a red light over, and this is, again, it's a lot brighter in this picture because this was nighttime. But anyway, so this is the entrance to set.
No signage or anything to say.
No signage because it's supposed to be covert and underground and kind of like clandestine, right? So you don't want any of that kind of you don't want to obviously. So speakeasy here, have an image. of a picture. And then the other one, let me see if I can find the last one here. So this is one of the entrances, and I'll show you. Let's do this. Let me share. Winder this. So this is one of the. It looks like this, and the other one had a little window right here, and it slid open. So this is what it looked like. Behind this is a door. It looks like just a high voltage panel with some readouts, but this is what we walked in that door, and you're sitting in there, two of these doors, and that's literally all you have. Okay. That's it. That's how it's set up. So it's pretty slick. I'd never been to one, but honestly, if you walked in this and saw this, you're like, okay, this is just a room.
Andrew said there's one in Liverpool as well. Let's have a look.
Okay. Well, does it have a name for said thing? So anyways, we went to that. It was last night's kind of a spur of the moment thing. It was really kind of good. Becky had a Moscato, which she said was really nice. I had a couple of craft cocktails. My buddies had a couple of craft cocktails, and it was really nice. It was a little cheese board. It was pretty cool. But yeah, apparently speakeasy might be a thing in the UK. Maybe they don't call it that.
No, it definitely is, because it says, I just
it looked like a phone box. Okay. That's kind of cool.
I just Googled it, right? And it says designmynight.com. It says 5 of the best speakeasy bars in Liverpool. So it obviously is a category of bars, which I've never heard of.
Right. Huh. It's right next to the Premier Inn in Moorfield, Liverpool.
One of these are quite fun. Alcatraz, right?
Yeah.
Lauren's done one of these for a hen do, right? And you bring your own bottles of booze,
right?
And they make cocktails with your booze, basically.
Oh, okay, that's kind of cool.
But you get like the orange jumpsuits, like the orange is the new black type style, and yeah, it seems fun. They play games and stuff, but Alcatraz. Sounds fun. And it's in Liverpool, so if you want to brush up on your scouse, there you go. You're right in there. The Liverpudlians, right? There's one in Brighton, Cardiff, Bristol. There's 2 in Liverpool, 1 in London and Manchester. So yeah,
they got him in Melbourne. Apparently, they got him in Australia too. Apparently, and there you go. I thought it was an American thing because I didn't think other countries had prohibition or any reason why you would have to underground alcohol distribution. But apparently, they have them in Melbourne and in the UK. So go check those. If you're not a drinker, that's okay. They do have non-alcoholic versions of the said beverages, so you could still go and have a good time. My Becky isn't really drinking. She's not drinking that much, but she had a good time. It was a nice conversation. Well, it's cool. It's just like a neat kind of a thing going on. So
kind of swanky in there. So yeah,
it's a little upscale. I wouldn't say don't go in there with t-shirt and shorts. Right.
Yeah.
Try to dress a little nice, and also you're going to be out with your better half, right? With a partner or some friends of yours. You shouldn't look like a schmuck, so you should probably just dress up a little bit and kind of dress.
You didn't have your t-shirt on. You currently got on then.
No, I don't have this t-shirt. I actually dressed up. I looked like I didn't. I had a button-up shirt, and Becky was all nice. She had a nice cute little sweater on. It was great. It was a good time. We had a good time. Had a good conversation.
Tell her that?
Of course I did.
Oh, of course you did.
Yeah. Good. She didn't get outside the house before I tell her how nice she looked. So yeah, I get it.
Good man.
Yeah. Hey, they don't pay me because I'm good looking. That's at the end of the day. I have to try to make sure. So anyway, hold on a minute. There's a So anyway, it was a good time. So the fact they have speakeasies in the UK and apparently they're in Melbourne, Australia. So check those out if you have a chance to go there. Even if you don't drink, a lot of the ones that we had, they had like 3 or 4 drinks that were non-alcoholic, kind of like mocktails kind of thing. Or you can just have water or just have food and just enjoy the conversation. It was a cool time. It was really cool because it was downstairs through this little tunnel, and then you get down there and they open up this door that had a little turn knob. It was kind of slick. I thought it was kind of cool. So check those out. And I know that's not tech related, but hey, you know what? You learn something new every day, right?
Well, we use tech to look into it. We use Google.
Right. Although the one we were at, the phone, because I guess we were so far underground with all this rebar and shit, there was no signal in the speakeasy, which is good. You go a couple hours, you reserve a table, and it's kind of nice because then you don't have to worry about phones going off. You can kind of just enjoy the conversation with mates or a significant other or whatever.
That's a good thing, yeah.
Yeah, you needed some time away. Put the glowing rectangle down, and have some good conversations, some good cocktails, and good
Does Juan
pub.
still have that glowing rectangles going? Does he still have that going?
I don't think so. And if he does,
It
I
used to
have
be on
not.
Reddit, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I have not paid attention. I'm sure it's still there. I don't know if anybody still contributes to it. I know there's a lot on Mastodon. He's a lot on Patreon. Oh, and by the way, folks, I did reach out to Juan. He may be able to come onto the show. Probably won't be until the new year, but we're gonna try to have Juan come on because it's been too long.
Long
and,
overdue. Yeah, it was
long
our first
overdue.
ever guest.
And obviously, and he said, yeah, he was up for it. And I reached out to him this weekend, and I know he's very busy, but maybe he can carve out a few hour of his time to come on the show. And look forward to that. And obviously, we were supposed to have Darren on for the Tech Disruptors today, but he's a little under the weather, so he decided to take a rain check, which is fine. Hope he feels better, especially with the holiday. You don't want to be sick when the Christmas hit. Sucks. So that's it. So yeah, check out. Remember, next Sunday we will be on as well. But we will also have the Tech Disruptors year end. It's on the 28th. Check that show out. We are going to be watching. We are not participating because that's going to be a good time. Check that out. And we had a good, and I guess obviously Thanksgiving. I'm sorry, Christmas is Friday. No, Thursday. Thursday.
Guess who's guest on Phone Show Chat tomorrow?
I don't know.
Steve Litchfield.
Oh, very cool. Steve's on the show. That's fantastic. That's a good thing. And
that's going to be a fun show.
Yeah, I will be definitely paying attention to that show. And as soon as it drops, I will definitely be downloading and listening.
It's recording tomorrow night. So, yeah.
Right. So, and then you had a show last week, correct? I didn't get a chance.
Yeah, we slotted an extra show in because we had Gavin on the week before. And
right.
We made it very guest heavy. We let him speak a lot. So then me and Ted had quite a lot to say, so we slotted another show in. Got our stuff.
Fantastic. I did not get around to watching it. It was kind of a busy week at work, and then but I will download that and then make sure next Monday, once the show posts, make sure you download the phone show chat
tomorrow.
So tomorrow, get that on there and download that and start watching that, and listen to that because you have Steve on, and I can't wait to listen to that show. It's going to be a really cracking, really good time.
It's going to be a good one, definitely.
So that's gonna be it. We're gonna go ahead and bow out a little early today. We're at 1 hour and 20 minutes. So that's not exactly very early for the Nomad Tech Project. It's kind of like right in the wheelhouse.
Middle of the road.
That's right what we do. So again, check out the phone show chat tomorrow afternoon. They're gonna record. It's gonna be great. The Tech Disruptors next Sunday, us next Sunday, and any other people you're listening to. If you're also Gigi's got a Tuesday night show. She also has a Sunday members only. So if you see Gigi's YouTube stream and you do a subscription and you are part of her Kings and Queens, you can jump on every once in a while. I haven't been on the show very often. Saturday nights have been kind of wacky for me lately, so I appreciate the fact that she always extends an invitation, but I haven't been able to join very much. But there's tons of content creators who aren't the big end creators. Show them some love, participate in their chats. They do a really great job. And have great conversations and enjoy those people. They do a lot of good work, and we are huge fans of those folks.
Definitely.
Anything else, my friend, before we dip out for another Sunday before the Christmas holiday here?
Happy birthday to Dan's son, who's 1. Well, that was yesterday, I think it was. Yeah.
Jesus, I can't believe it.
Time flies, mate, doesn't it?
I know, it's crazy. So yeah, our friend of the show, Grounded Tech, he's Dan. He's got his young little one turned 1. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. It's already been a year, but that's awesome. So he's already a biggest 1-year-old I think I've ever seen in my life. At least he looks like he's very well aware of things that are going on.
Yeah.
Only being a year old, I think he's going to probably speak at Oxford or something.
You know what? Thank God for tech. We don't get to see Dan, but we get to see his images that he takes of Cody and watch him grow. Just like you don't get to see Saoirse in person, but you've watched her grow in image form.
It's just like just watching her, just even from the videos and the pictures you sent me even a year or two ago. It's just like watching her grow is crazy.
It's crazy, isn't it? So thank you for the tech.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The tech kind of brings us together. That's why we're here doing what we do. So, you know, because of this show, we can bring this to you and have a good conversation. So again, Merry Christmas, happy holidays. I think we're in the middle of Hanukkah for those folks who celebrate. Again, just try to have a good holiday. We will be back next Sunday, same time slot, 9 p.m. Do another show. Again, remember, we may actually go early because I pretty sure the tech disruptors, I think they're going off at 3.9 because they go on Eastern. So we might go at 2.8.
Just to kind of, yeah, I can do.
We'll let you know. But that'll be next Sunday. And then obviously, have our show go right to Disruptors. It'll be a good time. Looking forward to that, seeing what they have to say about their tech and everything else. And for that, we'll dip out for the rest of the day. Thank you so much to everybody who participates and sends us messages and gives us feedback and really enjoys the show. We really love you guys. We really appreciate your continued effort. And actually, this is episode 150, and it doesn't feel like a milestone. Woo! I don't know what that means, but this is our 150th show of the podcast, and we will continue to bring this podcast to you every Sunday. Obviously, not every Sunday. We might have a contingency, but we will try to keep this going. We have a lot of fun. I enjoy very much spending time with Joe every Sunday. I look forward to this. This is something I really like to do.
Me too, mate. And the cool people in the chat always, and all the lovely listeners.
Absolutely.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. And remember, download the show. You can watch the podcast video. You can watch it on YouTube. Make a comment. You can say we suck. That'd be okay too.
That's
engagement. We'll take it. I mean, we watch this shit. I'm like, I can't believe anybody watches this stuff. But anyway, so here we are. So for myself, for Joe Hickey, thank you so much for tuning in to this last show before the Christmas holiday. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy your tech. Don't be a dick. No. And we will see you next Sunday on the Nomad Tech Project with Sam and Joe. Take care of yourself. God bless you all. Have a good day. Enjoy your tech and see you next week. Take care, everybody. Love you.
Bye-bye.